3, 2, 1. Pickles. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Razor from RazorTube coming at you with some Rust Council Edition Stability Bunker base design action. And this base design can be used for a solo, duo, trio, or even a bigger squad than that. And this pertains to the Rust Council Edition for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series X. And this is one of the very first simple bunker-based designs that you can use in the very first wipe that you attend on the Rust Council Edition. And today I'm going to be building this, and I'll be accompanied by our boy J Monkey. Oh my.
Don't worry, I got squirt guns. We're good.
But like I was saying, this is going to be one of the very first base designs. If you aren't familiar with a stability bunker, I'm going to show you how to build it, where to put some of your assets or your deployables inside of your base, and how you utilize this base, and what are the very big strong points for building a stability bunker. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, drop that sub and like. And if you guys want more content like this, just drop a comment in the comment section below the video. And let's get into building your very first stability bunker base for the Rust Council Edition. Alright, so a stability bunker, what is it? It's essentially a base that's a 2x2 with a triangle doorway that you can access your entire base through, and then seal it up with a ceiling tile of any type of material, such as wood, stone, metal, and and armor. So, jeez, this guy, he always likes to play games in my videos. I'm trying to be serious for the crowd. Anyways, so what does the footprint look like for the stability bunker? So what you have is a 2x2 base that Jade is currently standing on, accompanied by a triangle foundation in the front. And on the right and left of this triangle foundation, you will have two raised triangle foundations. And this will act as your doorway into your stability bunker. Now, like I say, whenever you're building a base design, you want to make sure you have the mats for it, maybe hidden in a bush, especially if you're starting out, inside of a chest with a little wooden lock so nobody else can access it. Do not make a key for the wooden lock, or you will be up Craps Creek without a paddle. Let's put it that way. Never make a lock for it. Just do what you got to do, get the mats, and build the base. Alright, so let's get into the build. Here we have 4 square foundations, like I said, with a triangle foundation in the front, with 2 raised triangle foundations to the right and left of that one. Now, what I like to do first every time I build a stability bunker is make sure I wall in the entire frame first. So you're going to put walls all the way around your 2x2. After that, I want to make a TC room. A TC typically costs 1,000 wood. A wooden lock costs 100 wood. And then to make the doorway of the TC room, I use a double doorway frame. So I put it down like that. I got my TC crafted. I put this down in the very left-hand corner, such as so. Put my wooden lock on it, just like that. Sometimes, or typically in the console version, you're going to see a wooden lock when you first place it be green. You have to lock it. So hold the action button, go ahead and lock it. It'll be red. Now nobody has access to your tool cupboard. Tool cupboard is essential because that is what stops your base from decaying over time. So now that you have your footprint down with your walls around, typically you can make your base. Do not make it out of twig. Twig is the weakest material. Okay, twig is the weakest material in the game, and somebody can break it instantly with a bow, a gun,
Or a yoka.
Or a yoka pistol, which is very dangerous close range. So I want you guys to save up the stone and stone it out. So you're going to stone out your stability bunker as quickly as possible. And always make sure you get your double door frame as well. And when you're definitely hardening your base, you want to make sure that your TC room is locked first. So my recommendation is, before you stone any of these walls around, like I just did first, because I'm so used to playing Rust, make your TC room in the back left corner, and then do this. So you're going to go ahead and put your ceiling on, and you're going to close it up. Typically, you're going to be using a wooden door that's 600 wood. Put a wood lock on it.
It's 350 in this version, but the one we've been playing in is 600. So it could change in the future, but yeah, anywhere between 350 and 600.
Perfect. All right, so now that you got your door locked and your TC locked, make sure that the whole TC room is stoned out. You could start to put your deployables down, but before I get into deployables, which are your boxes, your sleeping bag, stuff like that, I want to teach you how to build a self-made shelf. So once you have your TC room, I want you to go ahead to the right of it, put up a half wall, okay? Then I want you to put a square ceiling. After that, go ahead and go to a floor triangle, okay? And it should attach through the wall. Once it's attached, go ahead and do this. This is going to act as your very first storage shelf, okay? So what you're going to do is make that stone. You're going to go up to the half wall and the... Actually, this is a better idea. Go up to the half wall next to it, destroy it, and then harden your square ceiling. So now what you've made is your own makeshift, basically your makeshift shelving in your base. After this, you're going to be gathering mats. It kind of looks open, I know, but now what you do is put half walls on your raised triangles in the front, and I want you to make them stone. The reason why you do this is because in the beginning, this prevents people from jumping into your stability bunker when it's unfinished. So you can leave the base as much as you want, and nobody can jump in, okay? So if you're looking at Jade Monkey there, this half wall on top of the foundation actually is the length of a full wall, so he can't jump in, but you can jump out. You can get a bow and arrow, you can shoot at anybody who's down below, or if you got a yoke pistol, you can just jump on him, get it, take advantage of him, and boom, there you go. So he's going to simulate jumping out of the bunker. Yeah, well, you could people stack into it, but, you know, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, all bases are vulnerable when you first start. I'm just trying to show you what can be, what to expect. Like, expect yokas, expect to die a few times when you're doing this. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's why you take what you need, you do what you can, and then you come back for another payload. You're going to die doing this process. It is a fact.
Yeah, so let's say we're in our stability bunker and it's unfinished. Okay, so we have the ceilings, but we don't have the front door made yet.
I had to kill the dummy. I'm sorry.
All right, so we have a roof over our head, and we have our TC room, and then we have our sleeping bag in here, and it's kind of too open for your comfort. Let's just say that. What I like to do for a stability bunker to work, this is what needs to happen. You need to put a half wall there, and then one right above it. Now, what you want to do is stone the half wall up top. Do not stone the one on the bottom, because you will trap yourself in your own bunker, and good luck getting out.
Can I throw something out there for the PlayStation, Xbox players?
Yeah.
The command to upgrade, we have like a quick command, which you all need to be aware of, even your teammates. When you have a hammer in your hand, the quick update is X on Xbox, and then it's square on the PlayStation. Just make sure when you're moving around in the bunker, you don't want to seal it up past the cementing phase, or you'll have to raid your own base. So as a nice practice, keep the hammer out of your main toolbar, because if you have the mats on there and you accidentally hit X or square, which is open a door, you will seal yourself in, and that is bad news.
Instantly.
Just saying, it might have happened. So,
yeah.
You know.
I mean, there's been plenty of times on console when we've been doing this, and we've accidentally upgraded our shelving. We've upgraded our wall on accident. So try to steer clear of hitting the action button, because that will definitely leave you screwed, and you'll have to raid your own base. And in the beginning, you don't have raid material to do that. So, anyways, back to the half wall. So we've hardened the top half wall, and now we're going to demo the bottom half wall. This creates a doorway or a little crawl space, so if people do people stack and jump in, you're going to be able to see their feet first, then they got to crouch. You can get them before they get into your bunker. Now, in order to make this simple stability bunker work, you need an airlock, okay? So, what I like to do is once I have achieved this greatness of a crawl space, I like to come up in here, get on top of my base, which allows me to have high ground over players that approach the base, and it allows me to build further onto the bunker base. On the left-hand side, when I'm looking down into the hole, I like to add triangle ceilings, like this. This provides a little bit more cover for you in the beginning, but it still can be soft wall picked, meaning if people start getting a metal pick, they can start picking through this, and then you're going to be in real big trouble if you don't seal your bunker. Now, in order to seal your bunker, you have to be on the outside of it. You cannot be inside the bunker. So it's important to have a sleeping bag on the inside. Now, I'm just going to show you real quick, and I'm admin on here, so don't worry about it. You want to have a bag always, always, always inside your bunker, because if you seal it and you die on the outside, then you could spawn in the inside and people have to like raid you or softball pick you in order to get in. Now, okay, back to the triangles. So I put my 2 triangles in the front here, on the left and in the middle. What I want to do is create an airlock. Now, the snapping for the building system is very fickle, so you have to pay attention to this as I'm telling you. In order to create an airlock, what you want to do is have a door. Now, it's basically an airlock in Rust is a door before the door that goes into your base, if that makes sense. So you want people to have to raid you through a door to get in your base, right? So, for instance, let me show you an example because I'm poor at explaining it. So, to make an airlock on this, the triangle that you have left on the right, you're going to go ahead and place some walls, triangle ceiling. You're going to go ahead and harden these up with stone. Now, do remember in Rust when you're building, there's a soft side of the wall and a hard side of the wall. Hard side of the wall always faces out towards people. Now, for instance, if I have this flipped like that, the hard side of the wall looks like a cobblestone road. The soft side looks like a smooth surface. Now, you always want that facing out so people don't pick through it with a tool, or they could even use spears in the beginning. I've seen people do it, so watch out.
The real quick to add on to what you're saying, a cementing phase is roughly 10 minutes after you place something. Then you cannot destroy things and you cannot rotate them. So that's why it's important you have an idea of what you're going to do. So if you have to use twig, do that first and then make the upgrades, and then you can do rotations and destruction or demolition. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
if Razor were to wait past 10 minutes, he would not be able to rotate that unless he upgraded it and there was another cementing phase. But just know you can't demolish after it's cemented. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. And to piggyback off of him as well, when you're building your base, demoing is awesome because you have the ability to fix your mistakes. And like he's saying, there is a time and place for demoing. You only have that 10-minute window to flip that wall in the proper way. So if you don't catch a mistake, Rust is a very permanent building space. Once that window is gone, that piece of the building is what it is.
You got to raid your own base at that point.
Yep. If you make a mistake, you have to raid your own base, or you're going to have to fix it by manually removing it, which is raiding.
Soft side pick or explosives.
Or explosives. It sucks.
Been there, done that.
It sucks really bad. So try not to make any mistakes in the beginning. I know if you're a new player to Rust, it's going to be really hard to follow. But just if you go step by step like I'm telling you, you will have a low percentage of making a mistake, especially with us taking time building this. So anyways, back to the airlock. In order to create this airlock, you're going to have to build, you put a wall on the left and the right, you got the ceiling, and then you need your double door frame. Well, the reason why I like using double door frames is because eventually, during a wipe, you're going to find a blueprint for a garage door. This garage door is one of the most important pieces to base building in general. The reason why is because it costs so much to blow it up, and you want to make people think about raiding your base before they're fully committed, right? So once I place a garage door on this base, honestly, they're going to think twice about raiding it. The reason why is because it takes what? How many satchels? 9? 9 satchels to hit it, right? I think it's 2 C4 to get through it. And then, how many rockets is it?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's 150 explosive ammo.
All right, 150 explosive ammo to get through a garage door. So, do know that the garage door is a very, very powerful tool in the beginning. If you find this garage door, you need to go learn it for 75 scrap.
Immediately.
Actually, it's not 75 scrap. It is in this version, but it's 250 scrap.
No, it's 75.
Is it 75 still?
Here, the difference, okay, so the version we have for console, you'll be able to build it on a level 1 workbench. Here, in the more advanced version, it'll eventually go up to a level 2 workbench. But it is still 75 scrap. But learn it immediately. Even if you lose everything, if you know the garage door, you're winning.
Yeah, and if you get it early in a wipe, you are definitely winning. But typically what you see, instead of a garage door, you'll have a double sheet metal door. So what I like to do to save time in the beginning and money is if I don't have the metal right away, I like to use wood locks. Typically you can get metal by hitting barrels on the road and taking components and basically going to the recycler at Outpost, which is the safest recycler to go to, and basically scrapping and recycling all those components to get the materials you need in order to make your doorways first. So if you want metal doors in the beginning, and you can use these double sheet metal doors as well on your TC room, which I would recommend. I like to jump phases, right? A lot of people like to use wood doors in the beginning. I like to use metal. I go hit barrels on the road while somebody else is laying out the footprint of this base, and then I'll get metal by scrapping what I get from components, you know, from junk or scrap, or what do you call them, junk piles around the roads. And then I'll get that metal, I'll bring it back, I'll give it to whoever's building, or if I'm building, I'll take it, and then I'll start to craft my code locks, which are very important to have in the beginning, because it lets your friends be able to put in. Yeah, it lets them come into your base by typing in a certain numerical code, or you could just be the door valet by letting everybody in with wood locks.
Just real quick with the wooden locks, because there's a lot of confusion. If you place it, the intuition is to be like, or you're like, hey, I want to make a key. If you place the lock, you can automatically open the door without a key. So again, what Razor was saying, don't make a key. Have somebody designate as the door opener until you can afford door locks if you're in a group.
Yep. Because like I'm showing you here, if I go up to this door lock and I unlock it, it'll give me some options. It'll say remove the lock, create a key, lock it. I mean, yeah, I can knock on the door, but why am I going to do that unless I'm trolling? If I create this key, I'll get a key inside my inventory. What that key it does is open the door, okay? But what you want to do is when it shows green on the right, you just want to go into this lock, right, and then lock it. It'll turn red on the left. Even though you don't have a key, you are the only person that can open this door. You have ownership of this door. Nobody else can open it, not even your friends in your squad. If you're rolling solo, it's even easier. I would recommend that the wood lock is the way to go, because if you're solo, it saves you from using metal to make code locks. And it's just simple. You're just going through your base through the code locks or the wood locks, and you're like, okay, boom, got it. Now that's an example right there on the tool cover I think Jade put on there is of the code lock. Now here, I'm not going to show you my secret code, but Code locks are just important if you want your friends or your squad to be able to travel throughout your base, right? So you give them the passcode, and they're the only person that can have the passcode. And honestly, you better trust that person, because if you give them that code, they get mad at you, and they give that to another person. That person will now have access to your base. So insiding could be a thing. So be wary of that. Anyways, once I got the airlock up top, the best thing about having an airlock up top is you automatically are on high ground. You can get the high ground advantage on people with little grubs that are trying to run up to your base and get in. And also, when you jump down, right, if a bunch of people are chasing you to your base, you're like, oh no, I can't get up. That's fine, whatever. If you got a bunch of loot and you lose it, whatever. If somebody guns you down, that's fine. You can always tell your friend to get on top of the roof of your base, shoot down, get 2 gear sets instead of 1. Now, in order to get into this base, what I like to do is by the airlock, I like to create a twig step. How do I do that? I go ahead and put, now let's say if it was a little bit lower, I like to put a triangle foundation, and I like to take a half wall and put it up there.
Yeah.
Now, the key to this is that you leave a twig. The reason for that is if somebody's chasing you or in hot pursuit trying to get your buns to take your loot, you jump on top of the half wall, if I can get up there.
So bad at jumping.
And then I jump on top of the roof, and then what I could do, do you got a weapon on you? Projectile?
Yeah, what kind? Any kind?
Any kind. Any
All
kind,
right.
so I can explain to them what's going on. I need that, actually, if you don't mind handing it over. So, let's say somebody's chasing me. Jade's like, oh, I'm going to get his loot. He's a little grub, and I have not a gun, maybe a bow or something. What I would do is I jump up here real quick. Since he put a triangle foundation, I could shoot out the twig, and now he can't get up. So if he does kill me, as I'm... Oh my god. If he does kill me while I'm going up, if I get to the top and he shoots me and I'm down, my boy can come up from the bunker itself and then come and res me or take care of the problem down below.
Here, open it up.
Yep.
I'm both people. Here, I'll take your loot. Scoop,
Yep.
and then I go back inside
Yep.
like a gremlin.
Just like a gremlin. So, say this person gets you and gets your friend who opened the door. Here's what needs to happen. Before anybody goes outside, and this is what I would recommend, I don't know about you guys, but what I like to do is keep a little tiny small box on one of the triangles underneath. What I like to do for this is keep a stack of wood and stone in the beginning. The reason for that is because I'm going to seal up the bunker. Notice how I have a bag in there. I'm not going to simulate it because I don't want to die. In order to seal the bunker base, put down that half wall down below, like I said, leave a twig, and then put a triangle ceiling tile right here. Once that happens, you're going to go ahead and stone it, and your bunker is sealed. Now, when you sign out, you could sign out above your bunker door, or what I would consider doing, you could kill yourself before you sign out. So take whatever loot's on you. Hopefully it's not a lot, because you would store it inside the small box, and then you'd kill yourself, and then when you log back on, you would spawn in the bunker base on your bag. So say you did do that, what happens? Now, in this small wooden box, you want to have 4 things. You want to have a stack of wood, stack of stone, hammer, and building plants. The reason for that is so it's always ready for you to come in and seal the bunker if somebody is breaching the top of your base. So if somebody's blowing up this door, you could hurry up, grab this stuff with your fast action, right? Have it in your hotbar and seal up the bunker. If they get in, then they get you, but then they don't get inside your main base. Now, like I was saying before, when you log off and you kill yourself, you're going to end up on your bag, right? So, let's just simulate me waking up from my bag. I wake up from my bag, the bunker is sealed. What do I do? Well, I'm stuck in my base, right now. I have a stone triangle ceiling tile that is literally blocking me from getting out. Now, take a projectile weapon or a melee weapon, go up to the twig, and shoot it. The reason why this is a stability bunker is because that half wall acts like a little tiny stilt for the triangle ceiling that used to be here that we just destroyed. Because once you destroy this half wall that's twig, the stone triangle ceiling tile ends up falling as well, and that opens up your bunker. Now, if you would be so kind to seal it up again, Jade, so they can see his simulation again. He's going to put the half wall there. He puts
Be very careful with your hammer on the console edition because it's very easy to do the quick upgrade using the hammer. So be extremely cognizant.
So
there
now,
you go, sealed up.
Yep, he sealed me up. I'm good to go. If he leaves the base, then he does whatever he wants. Once he brings the loot back and I'm doing whatever I got to do inside the base, and he's like, hey, I'm coming in, that ceiling tile breaks and he has access to the bunker. Now do note, what I like to do is whatever material my base is made out of, whether it be wood, stone, metal, or armor, in this 2x2, I like to use the same material for these raised triangles in the front and for this top half wall there. The reason for that is because you want the most optimal protection for your loot, right, when you first start at Rust. So keep that in mind. So let's just say, for instance, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna build my base, my bunker base. I have it finished, and I have all of, okay, I got sheet metal here, and let's just say everything's sheet metal right now, okay? Everything. I want to upgrade these foundations to sheet metal and the bottom triangle to sheet metal, as well as the half wall above it. Now, you can go, you know, as crazy as you want and upgrade everything to metal. Just know that the durability of whatever your base is should be the same as your door for your bunker base. So whatever your walls are in your base should be what your triangle ceiling tile should be that once lived here. So keep that in mind when you're building. Now, there is one weakness to a bunker base, and Jade loves pointing this out, but I'll show you.
Sorry, I coded it.
You did. And that's the front of the bunker base. So those raised triangle foundations that you have, eventually when you start getting loot and materials in order to build more, there's one place that you need to upgrade as soon as possible to make your bunker base not as vulnerable. Now, if somebody were to come to your base with explosives in the beginning of a wipe because they lucked out and got satchels or rockets or C4 for any reason, if they were to blow up these foundations, they could walk up and under into your bunker base. And I'm going to show you right now what that looks like. Let's just say they blew into your base. Even if your bunker is sealed, they can still now have access and crawl into the bunker base. I can see Jade right out there.
Hi.
See? If you have people with explosives early on in a wipe, because you're going to see some Chads in your day. If you haven't played Rust and you don't know what a Chad is, get ready. It's a sweaty, Twinkie-eating child living in their parents' basement. So you have to be careful. Sweaty knuckles all day. So you want to make sure that these foundations, raised triangle foundations, are protected. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place everything again. Whoops. Is that Charlie? But just remember, this is the most vulnerable spot in your base, these foundations. So like I said, Jade likes to point out this. Oh, he was like, what can you do to stop people from blowing that up and walking in your base? Well, like any base in Rust, you're going to use Honeycomb. The Honeycomb, what you can do is just take triangle foundations and put them around your base. Like
Sink it. Sink it.
Oh, yeah. You right. Doing it wrong already.
If you can.
So, what you do is you put the triangle foundations as low as possible on your base, like so. Is this square? Is it gonna let me do that? There you go. You can use square or triangle, whatever lets snap to each other. Use that. Let's see. Oh, this one's triangle or square too. Jeez, I'm failing. Well, in this for this instance, we're gonna use triangle. So I'm gonna use triangle and square around the base as honeycomb. I'm gonna make sure that it's as low as possible around those foundations, and then I'm gonna start to put honeycomb like so. So let's just go around. I'll show you what honeycomb looks like. I wasn't going to do this, but I think it's important anyways. And the reason for honeycomb is when somebody raids your base, when you have honeycomb around it, it's more expensive for a raid. So in order to finish the honeycomb, what I like to do is just put normal walls around. And you'll see why the base starts to get expensive to raid, right? So these walls protect those foundations that are exposed outside, right? Make sure we have hard side out, like that. Let's go and upgrade them all. I know this takes a minute. Put another one here. And then those foundations now are covered with honeycomb. Now, obviously, you would complete the rest of the honeycomb around your base. You would find a way to make a airlock to jump on top of your base in order to get into the top floor, down into your bunker. But that's just an example of how the honeycomb works. Now, what it looks like from above is you have the walls and stuff like that. So when somebody raids your base, they have to blow through an entire wall in order to get to your actual base walls, which means if Joe Schmo is raiding the base and he only has like 9 satchels or whatever to get through a stone wall, he blows this up and he realizes, oh, I don't have enough explosive to get to the, the foundation that gets into his base, so I guess I'll just stop raiding. Or he'll just try to grief you and door camp you, which is 90% of Rust players, right? But that is how you build a stability bunker. Now, it's up to you. I just gave you the shell of this base design and just wanted to show you exactly how to build it. I'm going to go ahead and place the deployables inside the base to show you how I make it. And then after that, as far as like a jump up and whatnot, you guys can come up with your own design for that and add on to what I've already given you. All right, so let's go inside the base. Whoop. So what I like to do in the beginning is I'll have my tool cupboard, and then I like to make some large boxes if I can, which is highly important. I love big boxes in this game. Alright, so what I like to do inside the TC room, since I got a double door, I like to shut it and I start to line up my boxes in general. So I could fit a large box here, and then probably, let's see, we can fit some small wooden boxes. Come on, get out of there. There we go. Some small wooden boxes on the top. I don't know if I can get it up there. Open the door. Now, if you don't have enough room to move around and you find yourself like struggling placing boxes for optimal storage, go ahead and unlock the door, take it off the hinges, and then now you have this open frame. Just make sure that your airlock up top is locked, because let me tell you, if somebody catches you off guard and they go deep on your base, you do not want to have a missing door on your TC room. Me and Jade know from experience, right?
Yeah.
So here I could place another small box like so, and then I can start to configure like my TC room. Now if I place this right, let's see, I can put a large box in front of the TC. I could put another one next to that, and then a wooden box in the front. Actually 2 of them if I want to be honest. Maybe not, maybe not. Can I place the door after that? I'm sure I can. Yes, I can. So I'll be able to place one more wooden box. Ooh. All right. And then I would put on my door. I always like my doors going inward towards the room I'm typically operating out of. So they open inward, not outward. So do remember that. Now, in order to make this base highly functional, I like to have storage in the left and right side of the base and the back. And then I like to have, for smelting purposes, I like to have 3 furnaces like so. Now, furnaces you're going to have low-grade fuel for, and you'll eventually learn that they're a crucial item to have inside of a rust, because you smelt down metal ore and other materials in order to get the refined version of them. So do note that you're going to need these eventually. I think they cost, let me see here, I'll show you. Here they cost 200 stone, 100 wood, 50 low-grade fuel. So low-grade fuel you'll find in monuments, like Dome and whatnot, or you'll find them in junk piles around the road, which they are in barrels that have like a spilt oil symbol on the front, and they're typically red. So look out for those. You want to gather that as you go and collect scrap while you're recycling things for metal doors, or you can get them by hunting animals. You can get low-grade fuel by hunting animals, because you kill the animal, get animal fat, combine it with cloth, and that makes low-grade fuel as well. So if you don't want to go, hoarding scrap around the roads, you can always just kill the wildlife in order to combine it with cloth to make low-grade fuel, to make this furnace. Anyway, so that's how I typically place it. If I'm in a cold area, I like to sit on top of the furnaces, and it gets my comfort up. Also, comfort is used to heal quicker as you eat and drink, so do remember that. And then how I construct the rest of the base is, once I get a furnace over here, I like to use it as kind of like a jump up, so I can do the placement of my large boxes on my shelving for the second room. And I go boop. So I put one large box in the back like this, another one in the left side. And then I like to put a couple small wooden boxes in between them. Now, it doesn't look like I can reach that back one, but I can. So just remember, it's all in the hips. So I can reach it just like this by putting my cursor on it. And then I potentially have a spot for 2 more wooden boxes in the front. So this is where I start to use the furnace as like a little jump up and kind of do my thing. Now, you can configure your storage any way you want. I'm just giving you an idea of what you can do. Let's see. Here we go. Sideways. No, we're going to go like this. There we go. So that's what I would leave it, where I'd leave it, just like this. And then I'll configure the bottom. Just this, I mimic the top. Boop, boop. Put my box in between, because I'm a piece. See if it fits. Boom, there we go. On the left, there we go. We got all our storage that we need. We'd seal that up with a double door frame. And there we would go. Boom. Now, do remember, if you have a box kind of poking out in a door frame, it's not going to let you place a door, so be wary of that. And then, one of the most vital things that you need in your base is a workbench. The workbench fits right against the wall, right here. Typically, you're going to start with a level 1 workbench. In this case, I'm just showing you maximum storage by using a level 2 workbench, which is 500 scraps, some metal frags and whatnot. And you can
Level 2?
Yeah, level 2. I'm using a level 2 to show them, just for example. But for a level 2, you can actually store a box under. For level 1, you can't. So level 2 and level 3 workbenches, you can store boxes underneath. Now, you can't put it like vertically. You have to put the box horizontally, just like this, and it just creates more room for you to store things. Now, what I like to put in this box is like I don't know, jackhammers that I'm going to refill with the workbench, or like items I need to repair and whatnot. But for the most part, this is what your base is going to look like, or your bunker base is going to look like when you start to finish it out. You have the optimal storage, you have a ton of wooden boxes to store loot in, and you have furnaces to refine things in. Now, if you want to get other utilities in the game, like your research table, your repair table and whatnot, you can build an upstairs to this and make a unique doorway to get into your base and access your base through the second floor and then drop down into the first floor. I'm going to have another video with the chimney stack bunker base to show you that. And that's pretty much it for the stability bunker base design for solos, duos, or trios. Hopefully this was useful to you. Hopefully you use this base design in the future. I know a lot of creators started off with this stability bunker base when we were able to do it in Rust, but now it seems like you can utilize it for a lot more things, and you can expand on it in the future as well. So if you're new to the channel, drop a sub and a like. There'll be more bunker based designs in the future, like the chimney stack. Be careful, that one's a beast and it's awesome. And I'll show you how to build a access point with your second floor. Anyways, just look out for the video, okay? Alright, well, I'm RazorTube. Drop a sub and a like. I'm part of the Boyfriend Squad. Stop by Jade Monkey's channel as well, and BioLaser, the other members of the Boyfriend Squad. And we'll see you in future based design videos, and for more tutorials. And guys, you can hit up my Rust Guides playlist on my channel.
And for release, we'll be playing like crazy.
Yep. See you, bye.